Hello, and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Kamloops for the MSEM format. I'm Caillou, and today we're going to be watching the round 1 match between Augur, who is on Redless Villainy, and Crushcastles, who is on Blue-Red Glinthide Storm. This is a deck that Crush has brought previously to a custom Night Magic. That version had Dreamsight Well as the most powerful card draw spell in our format. However, it was more inconsistent as a result. For the GP, Crush has essentially tuned it, cleaned it up, made it 60 cards instead of 120, and now it's a lot more fine-tuned and goes off a lot more consistently. And it does have a decent mid-range backup plan. However, it is reasonably weak to just any interaction, especially because most of the key cards are 3 mana, so it can't go off until turn 4 or 5, and lots of the pieces are weak to Pithwilt, which is our format's hot new piece of interaction. Meanwhile, Augur's deck is a new spin made by another member of the format, Gateways. It's a new spin on the existing Villainy decks, but it gives access to the best card advantage spell in the format, which is Dead Man's Party. It also gives access to some of the best cantrips and removal, such as Whisperwood's Exploration, Pithwilt. It has No Rest as recursion, so it's basically the best of all worlds, and you still get to run Villainy. Right now, Augur doesn't have really good interaction. Vibrant Rapture is actually pretty bad against Glinthide Hero, because Glinthide Hero has 4 toughness, so Rapture needs at least a 6. The Stolen Secrets is good. He's going to name Sorcery. I'm surprised. I would have named Creature or Planeswalker, or actually Planeswalker would be a hard thing, but I guess there's 20 sorceries in Crush's deck. You're guaranteed to hit something, but how many of those are important before Crush goes off, I guess is the question. I think you would just grab the Conjure Realities here. Okay, he's going to grab the Recall. Interesting. I guess the Recall is card advantage, plus it puts Crush in a nice rampy position. But Recall is castable from Grave, and Conjure can just either A, get another, or gets Glinthide Hero, which I think is, Mabel, I think is the most worrisome card in Crush's deck because it kind of just does it all. But Glinthide Hero as a constant source of card advantage is really good. And yeah, one key card that Crush fetched up the first turn is Elrain the Mana Root. This is one of the cycle of spell lands that we have in the format, and it is one of the more powerful ones because essentially every time you just tap another land for mana, which is something that should be happening fairly often in any game of Magic, you put a counter on it, and once it has 10 counters on it, you can tap and sacrifice it to just untap all lands you control. So you can get into some crazy mana doubling situations with this and Mabel's -1, and that's really the key mana engine of this deck, in addition to Fulfill Twisted Dreams. Meanwhile, another top deck Stolen Secrets for Augur is, I think without those top decks, Augur would be in a kind of a bad position here, but now can Vibrant Rapture X=1 kill the Caterwaller, and then Stolen Secrets grab whatever Augur might want from Crush's hand, which I think Augur will probably name Sorcery again, and then, I don't know, take Recall again, which would be ironic, or I think maybe this time might just take the Conjure Realities. So yeah, is gonna Rapture X=1 just to shoot the Caterwaller before it can grow. I think running out the Caterwaller first was a little bit greedy by Crush. I feel like generally you would prefer to run out not Xenoflora Expert in this situation, but you'd prefer to run out Mabel, +1 her. Next turn she can give you a bunch of mana to play a lot of spells. She also doesn't die to a single Villainy trigger or to most of Augur's removal spells. So running out the Caterwaller first there definitely felt like, from known information, like a tempo negative-ish play. And so I don't think that was a good play by Crush. And it looks like, okay, Augur's just going to take the Recall Forgotten Aeons again. But does Augur have a fast enough clock to stop Crush from just ramping into a Recall from Grave? Because so Crush plays a land this turn, plays Mabel, that's up to 5 lands. Augur doesn't have any removal for Mabel. Did the Whisperwoods mill a Villainy? Let's see. No Villainy in Grave, so No Rest has 0 targets. I guess No Rest can grab back an Azure Caterwaller, and then that's another reason not to play Azure Caterwaller, because it's much more easily killable and thus more easily easily recoverable. But then Augur can't swing on the Mabel, and even then doesn't have a good block on the Mabel. Though it is ironic that the Caterwaller will grow from most of Augur's spells because of the number of BX spells that Augur is running. But instead, he's gonna tap 4. Please don't get a Glinthide hero. I think it would be fine, but I think that is, again, a bad play. Oh god, okay, Crush is gonna get a Glinthide hero. I don't think he's gonna get punished for it, because unless Augur top decks a land, will not have the mana to Rapture X equals 4. But this is just like, from everything that Crush knows about Augur's deck, this is the worst thing. Or wait, even from known information, actually, Augur can kill the Glinthide hero, because Augur has a Descend on the Helpless in the grave and has 5 mana available. So that was just a bad play by Crush. And now Augur, who's almost out of cards, can Descend on the Helpless, steal the Glinthide hero from Crush, and then start using that for card advantage. Again, Crush really should have just played the Mabel. Like, the Mabel is just, like, unquestionably the best play. So yeah, is gonna Descend on the Helpless, gets the Cormoran, probably stealing a Glinthide. And yeah, it's just gonna steal the Glinthide back. And yeah, this was completely avoidable. Like, from known information, Crush should have just played the Mabel. It just feels like, even if Crush missed the Descend, which was like the onboard removal spell, that happens. But I feel like playing the Glinthide, like, in general, is just showing a fundamental misunderstanding of how easy, a board with just one creature on it is how answerable that is for like the 4-color Villainy decks, and how reasonably difficult it is for like Mabel to be answered, and also how good Mabel is in that she immediately comes down and ramps. Crush finally coming to that conclusion, but only because these Xenoflora experts don't have any lands to use with them. So just gonna +1 Mabel, make far off lands. Next turn does have enough mana to shatter Mortal Conveyances, which will get Crush the Glinthide hero back, notably. Could also use the Mabel, could also use that mana to recall Forgotten Aeons from grave. Okay, and Augur does not draw an answer to Mabel, but does draw an Intrepid, which is a reasonable threat. Could also no rest, and then with the no rest, steal Azure Caterwaller. And then, because of no rest being a multicolored spell, it will trigger Glinthide, and then Augur can draw another card. Okay, so first Augur's going to swing for 4 with the Cormoran plus Glinthide hero. Oh, actually, that is an onboard way. Oh no, okay, could have killed Mabel right there. I completely forgot that Augur actually had creatures, but it's just going to go face, not going to even kill the Mabel. That seems like a mistake, because Augur I guess Augur also knows that, no, actually, yeah, so with just Elrayan, Crush can only get up to 6 mana next turn, which wouldn't be enough to shatter Mortal Conveyances. So Augur should have just killed Mabel, with the known information that Augur has from the hand attack, because Augur should be unless Augur just is not worried about the shatter Mortal Conveyances or the recall of Forgotten Aeons Engrave, which, like, I cannot believe. Okay, so now is going to cast the No Rest, draw trigger on the stack, Glinthide hero draws a land, but what did Augur steal? Did Augur just grab nothing with the No Rest? Or did I miss something? Did Augur grab a land? Oh, Augur grabbed back, Augur grabbed back their own Grim Bastion. I don't know why, given that mana is not exactly an issue for Augur right now. And, like, an important thing to note is that, like, grabbing back the Caterwaller makes it so that Augur has, well, I guess it's 2-turn clock either way, but it gives Augur, like, some routes to potentially just kill Crush next turn, because that would be a 10 damage on board. If Augur draws, if Augur drew a multicolored spell, could immediately cast it, grow Caterwaller by 2 power, while also drawing 2 cards off of Glinthide because of No Rest, and then if one of those 2 cards is a multicolored spell, just wins the game on the spot. So I think that grabbing back the land instead of Caterwaller was a mistake. So far, it feels like there's, like, a lot of, like, both players are making, like, lots of, like, little mistakes, unless I'm, like, misevaluating situations, which is entirely possible. Okay, so Crush is gonna play the Xenoflora expert, not gonna play the Tropical Grove yet. This seems like a big mistake. Why not play the Tropical Grove first? Because you get more mana that way. But yeah, it's gonna Mabel -1, naming green, untap all non-island lands. Oh, it's playing the second Xenoflora expert. Okay, so I guess the thought is to draw 4 cards off the Tropical Grove. Okay, so Tropical Grove comes in, Crush draws 2 cards because of Xenoflora Expert's passive. Draws into a recall, that's going to draw some more cards. And that island is also, yeah, I guess we're just going to play the island immediately, draw another 2 cards. Oh, and a Sea of Skies Beyond. So that's going to be another, I think, Crush, oh no. So Crush is just going to play the Sea of Skies Beyond. I think that was a mistake, specifically because I think Crush should have cracked the Tropical Grove, drew 2 more cards, and see if he hit another fetch. It looks like he wouldn't have. draws an Augur Caterwaller and Fulfill Twisted Dreams instead. Fulfill is good because it also helps him stay going mana positive. Having the second Mabel means that he's also got another -1 in there. So yeah, this game is looking pretty terrifying. Like none of this would have happened if Augur had just killed Mabel. Like Elryan would have existed, but like it wouldn't have been this devastating. Now like Augur, unless Crush messes this up, which is possible, but I don't think that's a good thing to count on. But unless Crush messes this up, well, Crush already messed it up because cracked the Elryan first instead of playing the second Mabel. But yeah, it's gonna crack Elryan, untap everything. But yeah, this I don't see a world where this doesn't end with RFE plus a Shatter Mortal Conveyances. At which point, like I think Augur is just down and out, unless Augur like top decks a Villainy and then can try to burn face. But and that's why Crush didn't crack the other Tropical Grove. Wanted to get a second Elryan. Jeez, that is powerful. That also explains why Crush didn't play Mabel, because he wants to play Mabel to untap Elryan. So taps even more. Okay, I was just about to say, I think you should recall Forgotten Aeons first just to get another land drop, if potentially. And there it is, Tropical Grove. That's another 4 cards drawn, and another 2 mana minimally. Actually, minimally 3, assuming that Crush taps it, then taps or like Fulfill Twisted Dreams, and then Mabels. So each land is nutty. Conjure Realities also means that Crush just has essentially free access to any card in his deck, except for another Fulfill, which might matter. But Conjure for like the third Mabel is pretty baller. He's going to play the Augur Caterwaller. Does this thing have haste? If not, I don't think this is a good use of mana. I guess it's just another piece on the board, but I feel like you really want to save your mana because you have Revelations in your grave, which are so much more impactful. Yeah, it's going to Fulfill Twisted Dreams right here. Untaps everything for another round. I think probably, how much mana does Crush potentially have? I think you probably, Mabel plus RFE is, I think, the line that I would take, unless I am miscounting mana, which is entirely possible. Because Mabel gives you another untap, RFE gives you another land drop. Okay, it's gonna Conjure Realities. This should be another Mabel, but if it isn't, then like I don't blame Crush because that's a lot to keep track of. But I think the second Mabel is what you want to go and grab, not Glinthide, because you already have card draw off the RFEs. The only thing gating you is mana at this point. Okay, he's gonna grab a Fulfill Twisted Dreams. That is fair, and then can Abound the Mabel, because Fulfill is also, I guess, another untapper. So yep, okay, he's gonna Abound the Mabel. And yep, okay, casting the tutored 4 Fulfill Twisted Dreams from hand. So now is out of mana production other than Coalescing Fulfilled Twisted Dreams, which is, oh wait, still has Mabel, sorry. So has Mabel plus 2 Fulfilled Twisted Dreams in grave. Each Fulfill will be 2 mana positive now, or can crack Elryan. And then how many copies of Elryan? Oh, Crush has 4 Elryan. So actually that keeps going, because Crush has the Tropical Groove to get a 3rd Elryan. Yeah, this is a nutty turn. I think that this might be the most fun deck that I've seen in this format in a while, which may seem exceedingly wrong to say about a deck which is just solitaring, but the lines that this deck has and just the crazy over-the-top nature of it is too impressive to be annoyed at, I think. Okay, is gonna RFE from grave. Glinthide Hero is Augur Caterwaller. Glinthide Hero will draw some more cards. Honestly, I don't know what can stop Crush at this point. I feel like I've said that a few times, but I think the only thing that can stop him is him decking himself. Because he's gonna end up with a huge board, but if Augur can keep putting some chumpers in front, that might be her only out. And Augur Caterwaller number 2, I think at this point is just I have the mana, why not? Just increase the board. And notably, the Recall Forgotten Aeons gives Crush even more land drops, so therefore more mana, and therefore essentially increased card draw as well. The whole engine just works out terrifyingly efficient. So yeah, he's gonna play the island off of the previous RFE, draws 2 more. Worlds Colliding plus Mysterious Cataract. Worlds Colliding will probably prevent Crush from decking out. Yeah, that is backbreaking. I feel like I should just stop talking and let Crush, win the game. But, I do want to keep an accurate portrayal of what's going on this turn. I think though what I might do is I might just like, unless something really exceptional happens in this turn, Crush is just gonna keep going off. So I might just hold up commentary and then pick back up my commentary at the end of Crush's turn, wherever that leaves us at. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Well, actually, it looks like it didn't take that long for Augur to concede. She's going to concede after Crush plays a Truth Unveiled, which it looks like Augur's out was hopefully like getting a Villainy and then being able to burn Crush out. But yeah, Truth Unveiled just gains Crush 15 life on the spot. And at that point, Augur doesn't have any way to either recoup the board or kill Crush before Crush just kills Augur. That was a crazy game. I think that, like, I hate to say this, but it feels like it was kind of a game of little misplays here and there, which led to the eventual end state of that game. But I think in the end, I think Augur could have clutched it out if Augur had just killed if she just killed Mabel. But let's look at sideboarding before going into game 2. So what can each player do to mitigate the stuff that happened in the first game? Breath of Fresh Air is a solid if unexciting way to deal with Dead Man's Party and Villainy, so that could potentially come in. I feel like, though, Crush doesn't really care about Villainy because it's not a hate piece. I might be wrong, but I feel like Crush just reads the text on Villainy and laughs, especially because Xenoflora Export and Glinthide Hero are both 4 toughness and therefore take 2 Villainy triggers kill. Same for Once Abandoned. I feel like, yeah, for the rest of the stuff in Crush's sideboard, like, Crush's main board is so tight that you think you only really bring in the stuff from the side if you are desperate against, like, hate. So I can't really see what Crush would bring in here. Like, unless Crush wants to try and play more of a fair game, in which case, like, Once Abandoned and stuff is, you know, fair game. For Augur, let's see. Duress, Prying Inquiry both feel like great bring in. Memento Mori to exile the grave I think is super important versus the Coalesce creatures. Probably brings out Rapture, probably bring out, I don't know actually, it's hard to say. Because like I think you really want the Duress, you really want the Memento Mori, you really want the Prying Inquiry and the Duress, but I don't know what, like how Augur will get the slots to take it out without seriously handicapping herself. We'll have to see. Maybe Augur will just bring in the Prying Inquiry plus the Memento Mori and take out like 2 Rapture, 2 Fine, compensate. Okay, so getting into game 2, another strong opening hand for Crush. Has turn 1 Elryan and then can drop a Glinthide Hero or Mabel turn 3. Hopefully this time we'll drop the Mabel first, learning from the mistakes, but yeah. You know, it looks like Augur is mulling to 6. Yeah. Has 2 lands here. And it looks like Augur did bring in the Prying Inquiry. Bottoms the No Rest, which I think is a fair thing to do. I probably would have bottomed the Find Happiness just because I think the No Rest would be so backbreaking and like you have Prying Inquiry on 2 anyways. Like your curve just goes Prying Inquiry on 2, Trepid on 3, and then the logical thing is top it out with No Rest at 4. But maybe not. And my thought is like Prying Inquiry works really well into No Rest because then unless you really want to grab one of the sorceries, you just grab you can just grab a permanent and then rebuy it with No Rest. Okay, Augur with the turn 2 Prying Inquiry as predicted. I think you just take Mabel here because Mabel is the only mana doubler available, and like Azure and Glinthide are easily answered by creature removal, which descend into descend again, kind of, yeah. So Augur's just going to grab Mabel, and I think suddenly Crush is in a very terrifying position. And Ish, yeah, another 3-drop. I think that's the problem with Crush's deck. It does not have a curve, and if Augur can just like keep mana efficiently answering whatever Crush puts down, like I feel like this game is going to go very differently than the first one. And here comes the Intrepid from Augur, probably grabbing a blue source because Augur has every color available except blue for a Dead Man's Party. Could also grab a utility land like a Nereba or Monument of Youth. And yep, it looks like Augur did get a utility land, grabs a Monument, and now is in a solid position. Just next turn untaps, plays Monument of Queens. Intrepid can swing in for 4. Descend kills whatever Crush happens to play, and then the turn after that can be flashed back and steals whatever it killed one of the 2 times. Like this is looking pretty over for Crush, not gonna lie. Okay, so Crush is gonna run with the Glinthide Hero, but yeah, I think like last game, this is gonna get instantly descended on. And yep, here comes a descent, and then probably gonna play either a Whisperwoods or a Find Happiness. I think you probably play are you digging for something specific? Okay, I don't know. First is gonna attack with the Intrepid. I feel like you can just play Find Happiness, and then you want to play Find Happiness first, then have Whisperwood triggered next turn. You don't have to black elf. And playing Find Happiness first gives you more potential things to rebuy with Whisperwoods. So Mills, Pitwilt, another Find, and a No Rest, and then draws a Whisperwoods. So yeah, it's gonna be doing hella self-mill, and then next turn, probably what in here costs 3 mana? Probably just gets back a No Rest and then thinks about casting it the turn afterward. Or next turn just descends from grave, kills whatever. Crush is going to play a Xenoflora Expert. Then immediately has 2 fetches, so if he wants to, he could just play both fetches untapped and then draw 3 cards. No, okay, so he's going to play Lush Oasis and then Mysterious Cataract tapped, okay. So notably what this does do is it gives Crush access to enough mana to Worlds Colliding next turn. So depending on Augur's line here, like Augur could Whisperwoods back a hand attack spell and grab any number of these cards basically, which could be threatening. Or Augur could really like play to the board and be aggressive and then just flashback the Descent, grab a Glinthide, and then just off to the races it. So Augur unfortunately missed the draw trigger off Xenoflora. I think forgot it was a symmetrical effect, or at least the card draw was skull. It looks like Augur is going to go with the Descend line. Gonna just kill Xenoflora, find happiness on misery, triggers the lay motif. And now with the Memento is going to grab presumably Glinthide. Could also grab Xenoflora. And then Xenoflora plus play Wayfarer Shrine, draw a card. Crack it, immediately Duress Crush. Not a bad idea, I'd say so myself. But no, okay. Augur's just going to get the Glinthide hero. Swings in for 4 Trepid. Is there not a single... Wow, there's not a single Villainy in Augur, right? Still going to be swinging for 8 next turn, but not enough to kill Crush. Well, actually 9, because Augur could animate Monument. Meanwhile, on this turn, I don't know what Crush's lines are. Worlds Colliding, hope hits some crazy gas. Conjure Realities for a Mabel. Conjure Realities for a Mabel actually does not sound that bad. Conjure Realities for a Mabel actually sound pretty good. Okay, Conjure Realities for Xenoflora Expert. I guess the idea is Xenoflora, you play the Mysterious Cataract. That gives you the last mana tap need for Elrayan. Elrayan untap 6 mana with 6 mana play, I guess RFE plus Caterwall or RFE plus Unveiled or RFE plus Worlds Collide, or just Worlds Colliding. I think probably RFE plus Truth Unveiled is the best play, just because gaining 7 is a good stopgap against whatever Augur might be doing. Okay, it's gonna Elrayan, then Recall Forgotten Aeons. Hits a Mabel, so can keep going. The Mabel allows for another 5 mana, or it goes +2, so play the Mabel, -1 it, you get 5 mana, with which yeah, with 5 mana isn't quite enough to Worlds Colliding, but I guess you Truth Unveiled once, and at that point gain 9, go back up to 18, out of danger of dying soon, plus you have a Mabel, and like you have a decent number of cards in hand, hopefully stave off Augur. Oh no, it's Truth Unveiling first. Oh no, wait, sorry, already Mabeled. I am, so yeah, Truth Unveiled for 9, goes up to 8, and I think that's the last play that Crush do this turn, because I don't think Crush even has any 2 mana spells in his deck. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this turn. Xenoflora does block 1 creature on the ground, but Augur can probably just point both of the ground creatures at Mabel, Intrepid Face, has lots of options for dealing with the Xenoflora Expert actually, if so inclined, but I think probably Augur wants to Whisperwoods Exploration and try to hit a Villainy and then tap out for that potentially. Or could like the gutsy play would be Pitwill, swing all at face. That does 8, and then just kind of, but that's still a 3-turn clock rather than a 2-turn clock. Holding up Pitwill is also very valid, honestly. Like just assessing your options. Like actually, Duress, hold up double Pitwill might actually just be the safest play. Oh wait, Cormoran has flying. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't even need to swing with the Glinthide. So kills Mabel, Intrepid swings face for 4, and then now plays a Wayfarer Shrine, cracks for a Swamp. Oh, it's actually gonna Whisperwoods on main. Gets the Glinthide hero trigger, draws a card. Still has not milled. Yeah, still has not milled a Villainy. And Augur is almost halfway through her deck. Okay, grabs back a Prying Inquiry. I guess Prying Inquiry plus Duress. So he's gonna run out the Prying Inquiry. Or could Prying Inquiry hold up Pitwill plus Whisperwoods? That is also a fair idea. I think in this situation, you probably Prying Inquiry, rip away a Worlds Colliding, and then Duress, rip away a Worlds Colliding, and then just chill at that point. And surprisingly, Augur is going to take the Truth Unveiled. I think Truth is actively bad in this current situation, so that is a surprising grab for me. That would have been my last grab. It's 3 mana, gain 2, draw card. Okay, it's going to Pitwill the Xenoflora Expert. That does leave Crush with Worlds Colliding, though. And there's a land, but oh, it's Elrayan, so it enters tapped. If it was any other land, Crush would have been able to immediately go, like, Worlds Colliding, draw out. He's going to Elrayan for 5, counters, and then probably just play an Augur Caterwaller. Yeah, I'm gonna play a single Augur Caterwaller, but I don't think that's gonna save Crush from just Augur's crazy stream of recursion plus removal at this point. Because I guess Augur now can just tear apart Crush's hand, can just go Duress, Whisperwood's Exploration, buyback Duress, Duress, Worlds Colliding gets grabbed both times. Crush is down to a single Caterwaller in hand. Augur, yeah, okay, Augur will still even have enough mana for Pithwold at that point, crazily enough. I think that might actually just be the best line. You just kill the Caterwaller so you can swing in with everything. You tear apart Crush's hand so the only card left to him is Augur Caterwaller, and then you're just kind of homeward bound at that point. Because I believe that guarantees lethal, well not guarantees, but it puts Augur in a really strong position for lethal next turn. Also, that will let Augur draw 2 cards, one off the Pithwold, one off the Whisperwoods, so digs it a little bit deeper for that Villainy kill. Oh, so Augur's going to swing in with all 3. I guess is willing to trade the Cormorant for the Caterwaller. Crush just takes all of it, okay. But yeah, Augur knows that she has to double Duress, or like at least Duress Whisperwood's Prying Inquiry. But I think that double Duress is better because no, what? Again, it feels like Augur is just doing stuff with that, like with known information makes 0 sense. Especially because like, or I guess Augur wins anyways because if Crush plays a Worlds Colliding, only has 1 blocker and takes 6. If Crush plays the Augur Caterwaller, has a second blocker, but then Augur has a Pithwold for it. Oh, but I guess Elrayan makes mana a lot. Yeah, okay. So, okay, in response, Augur's just gonna Pithwold the Caterwaller, which, like, okay, sure. But now Worlds Colliding draws Crush a fresh grip, and then will immediately have access to every land in that grip, plus a bunch more besides because of Elrayan. And Augur could have stopped this because Augur had access to 2 hand attack spells. Yeah, that just seems like I don't know what Augur's thought process was there. Oh my god, and that is that exactly enough? Yeah, it's exactly enough to play this Shatter Mortal Conveyances that Crush top decked, and that saves Crush for a turn. Or I guess can first Conjure Realities, grab Mabel, -1 her, and then bounce everything. Yeah, okay, so it's going to Conjure Realities. Now gets Mabel, taps all 4 lands, untaps all lands that can produce blue, which gets 6 mana. Does this even matter though? Because, okay, wait, let's look at the situation. Even if Crush bounces everything, Augur untaps, triple black, plays Villainy, but actually Augur's mana is definitely gonna hurt her. Also, wait, where did this Fulfill Twisted Dreams come from? Oh, I guess Crush Conjure Reality'd for a Fulfill Twisted Dreams, and then actually abounded the Augur Caterwaller instead. Okay, so has 7 mana available, so can fulfill again, this time coalescing it. No? Okay, is gonna Shatter Mortal Conveyances. In response, Augur's gonna crack a clue. Okay, Shatter resolves, bounces everything that Augur has. I believe Augur still has the kill though, or wait, it doesn't quite have the kill. Let's see, Villainy, so plays Villainy, that leaves, the problem is that only leaves Augur with 1 more black source. Okay, on end is gonna Memento Mori, kill the Augur Caterwaller. I guess Augur technically has the Murky Pete in hand, huh? Okay, so then Whisperwoods can help. Oh man, is one black mana off? Cause yeah, Augur pays 3 Augur pays 3 black to Villainy. Then Whisperwood's Exploration, get back oh no, Duress is no longer engraved. Oh yeah, so solidly can't kill Crush this turn. I don't know if it super matters because I think Crush is still solidly out of options, but we'll see. Well, Augur's gonna try it anyways, runs out the Villainy. Okay, then is going to run out the Prying Inquiry. Going to poke the Villainy Shock at face. And I think Augur grabs Truth Unveiled, and that pretty much seals the deal. Yeah, okay, it takes the Truth Unveiled. And I guess now the only thing that Augur can do is crack the clue that's created off Prying Inquiry. Oh, wait, did Augur play a land this turn? I still don't think Augur has played a land this turn. So yeah, he's going to play the Murky Pete. Taps 3 for an Intrepid? Yeah, okay. Intrepid is a clock for next turn. And once again, even if Crush plays a Caterwaller as a blocker, well, Augur has enough mana to play 2 black spells next turn, so that just goes face. And wow, this Worlds Colliding would be... Worlds Colliding actually might be really nice. It doesn't have a way to untap, but it's the only way for Crush to get an out. And that is a really good top deck. But to go back to what I was saying, like, Augur has lethal in 2 different ways. Has the... Oh yeah, I guess Fulfill Twisted Dreams first. Should have done that last turn, honestly. Was maybe afraid of a Memento Mori in response, but I still think that it's a one-of copy. Should have just gone for the Fulfill. But yeah, and plays Glinthide. Why are you playing Glinthide? No! Well, the Worlds Colliding was the one chance that Crush had. Now, essentially, Crush and his plays Xenoph. Are y'all okay? Crush, you need a flying blocker for Intrepid. You have a flyer in hand. At least play to your outs. Jesus. Crush saying got 2 black spells, as though Intrepid itself doesn't just hit for lethal. I really wish I could type that in chat, but I can't. And wow, and game 2 finally ends. Augur takes it, so we're going to a game 3. So far, I think both players have made, if not misplays, they've made I think they're playing like a little bit more conservatively, and I think that, they're playing the opposite of conservatively. They're playing a little bit too recklessly, and I feel like we've definitely seen some game-defining misplays in these first 2 games. So hope that clears up in the third game. But we also know that as games go on, fatigue increases. So we might see something similar, but on a scale that we didn't see in the first 2 games. Okay, going into game 3, I kind of think kind of a subpar hand for Crush. I think this is the first hand in a while which doesn't have access to fetching Elray in turn 1, doesn't have other sorts of mana doublers, is really relying on this turn for Conjure Realities to do anything substantive. Meanwhile, Augur has access to a deadly curve of turn 1 Duress into turn 2 Whisperwoods into turn 3 Villainy, and that's off to the races. Most important component of that being this turn 1 Duress, which basically just grabs the Conjure Realities, and then suddenly Crush is just out of good option. I could see also taking the Truth Unveiled, because that has been very scary for Augur in the past few games, but I really think that would be a mistake. I think that so Augur's gonna take the Conjure. I think Truth Unveiled is very much like, it helps Crush potentially stabilize long enough to go off, but Crush can't do that if Crush doesn't have anything to go off with, and the Conjure is what could potentially give Crush that much needed fuel. Okay, Crush does draw land. Okay, he's gonna draw the Tropical Grove that will let Crush fetch an Elrayan, but no, okay, he's just gonna play a Sea of Skies Beyond. I feel like that's a mistake, because Crush will want to Caterwaller next turn, and can't Caterwaller plus Elrayan, and you want to Elrayan as soon as possible. Sea of Skies Beyond is less important in my opinion, especially when you have so few non-creature spells. And another land for Crush doesn't bode well. Like, Crush is very much in the range of being 1-for-1. Like, yeah, now this Azure Caterwaller, I think Augur probably just Pith Wilts it on end. Yeah, just gonna Pith Wilt it. I do think Augur made a mistake here in that Augur played the Forest instead of the Nebula, but I guess was trying to turn off the Nomad Township. Couldn't curve into the Villainy there. Now though, next turn has access to on this end step has Whisperwoods Exploration, and then next turn has a Villainy. You probably Whisperwoods regrow the Pithwelt or the Duress if Augur's really worried, but Augur won't be able to Duress plus Villainy next turn because again, only 3 black sources. Okay, Crush is going to try and start going off with this... Oh no, it was not. Okay, I thought Crush was going to fulfill Twisted Dreams. I guess not yet. Going to save it for when it's needed. Okay, Melted Descend, which is good. That's removal in a while. I think this makes the choice to regrow Duress easier because you have a piece of removal in the grave, which will come down in 2 turns guaranteed because you have the land for it. So yeah, he's going to regrow the Duress. And the question is Villainy or Duress? And I think the answer should be Duress, but it's probably going to be Villainy first because Augur is going to want the Villainy trigger, which I could also agree with, but yep, okay, Villainy. But I think that's a little bit riskier of a play because it does give Crush a turn to untap, and with this untap, Crush will be able to fulfill Twisted Dreams plus, so fulfill Twisted Dreams once. That'll give Crush enough mana to Elrayan. With Elrayan can Worlds Colliding and then maybe go off from there. It's a fragile hope, but still it's not that bad. So yep, he's going to cast Fulfill. Okay, so he's going to tap everything, crack the Elrayan, generate generate more mana. So now has 9 mana, 6 of which Crush can use with the Worlds Colliding. I don't think Crush should play the Truth Unveiled first, as tempting as that would be. Oh no, okay, he's gonna fulfill from grave first. Fair, because it's not mana. No wait, that is actually bad, because now Crush doesn't have the mana to Worlds Colliding. No, and it's then just gonna Truth Unveiled for 4. Okay, the reason this is bad is because, again, Crush is missing these onboard removal spells. Augur just untaps, plays a land, goes, okay, I'm gonna descend on the helpless, kill your fulfill, steal your Zur Caterwaller, shock your face. Like, Crush should have, because Worlds Colliding at least would refill Crush's hand. So then you could try to, try to outpace Augur's 1-for-1 game. Or I guess her 2-for-1 game now that Villainy is down. But still, like, without cards, you're just dead. And, like, Augur regrew a Duress last turn, so Augur can potentially, Duress your Worlds Colliding. But yeah, I think if you're Augur, now you just, you descend from grave, kill the fulfill, mostly because you don't want to be stuck in a situation where Crush untaps, plays like a Xenoflore or something, and then you're no longer able to answer this. No, you know what? I guess I'm just wrong. Never mind. Augur is going to shock face, grab Worlds Colliding with the Duress, but now Augur has no answer to this fulfill. Well, technically Augur's answer is wait a turn and then kill the fulfill, but again, that felt like a mistake to me, especially given like how few answers Augur has to a fulfill. Like, Augur can't just point a Pithwood at it because it's 4 CMC. Augur would need to have a Dead Man's Party plus Pithwood, but like Augur just doesn't have that. I guess like now Augur plays Nebula, names white, plays No Rest, and then gets back either the land or the Caterwaller. Or no, okay, I guess just isn't, which neither No Rest nor Stolen Secrets are instant. Doesn't have anything at instant speed from the grave. That just feels like another punt from Augur. And fortunately, Crush is just getting lands here, so Augur isn't really at risk, but like this just feels like misplay after misplay after misplay. And I don't, it's like, again, like the glass houses and all that, but it's not a, when a game is going this long, and also like it's understandable when a game is going this long, but like it's just painful to see the misplays keep stacking. Okay, finally is gonna descend and kill the Fulfill Twisted Dreams. Now it's gonna Cormoran plus gets oh no wait, no longer has any valid targets because the Truth Unveiled shuffled away the the parrot. Okay, good. Finally a good top deck for Crush is going to pay 3 and recall Forgotten Aeons, gets to draw 3, and gets a second land drop this turn. Truth Unveiled and then second Sea of Skies Beyond. Not great. Notably though, can play the island plus the Mysterious Cataract, and then next turn has access to coalescing it from grave. And also, like, Worlds Colliding usually never gets played for its coalesce cost, but it does have one of those. And it looks like Crush is going to play the Mysterious Cataract untapped. I can only think this is to get Elrayan for that big mana. Yep, okay, he's getting the Elrayan, can immediately put 2 counters on it. Wait, Crush played the Truth Unveiled? Why would you? In a game that in a set that I just said that has been defied by a series of misplays, that is the most questionable decision I've seen all game. Like, you are literally 2-for-1ing yourself because you have 2 cards in your graveyard and you're only that you can cast, and you're drawing 1. It's even more than that when you realize how many cards the Worlds Colliding could have drawn, and the recall Forgotten Aeons. That was like, this is back and forth punting hours. Okay, so Augur is gonna Stolen Secrets. It's not gonna hit anything, but it will get a free Villainy trigger. Okay, then Augur is going to play Whisperwood's Exploration, another Villainy trigger to face. Wonder what Augur's going to regrow. Probably just the Pithwelt? No, okay, just another Whisper. I guess Whisperwood's looping is actually really good with just a Villainy out, huh? Okay, swings in with Cormoran for 2, and then on end can just Whisperwood Exploration, grab another Whisperwoods, or if there's like a Villainy or something, or a Xanagan, Augur just grabs that. And wow, that is one hell of a top deck for Crush. Shatter Mortal Conveyances. I don't know how bouncing Cormoran works. I think it would go back to hand untransformed, so it gets the Descent, and the Villainy goes back to hand, but that is super powerful, especially because next turn, Crush has enough mana to just do it all over again. Well, actually, yeah, Crush will have enough mana to just do it all over again. It would be better if Crush draws another land, but doesn't really need to. But yeah, you know what they say, never punish. If you make misplays, you can just top deck fun stuff, and that's fine. So it's going to Shatter Mortal Conveyances. I think in response, Augur's going to Whisper Woods just for an extra trigger. There's no reason not to. So yeah, in response, Whisper Woods points 2 at face. Also helps dig for a Memento Mori, which Augur definitely wants. So I think Augur probably is going to regrow Whisper Woods again. Oh, Memento as if it would leave the battlefield, it's just get exiled. So yeah, it can't go back to hand. Okay, so I think Augur just drops the Villainy, plays Whisper Woods, and then shocks face. Tries to dig for a Memento Mori, but if Augur doesn't find a Memento Mori, just Whisper Woods Exploration again. And then that deals 4 to face. And then at that point, Crush shatters from grave next turn, but then Augur can just untap Villainy, Whisper Woods, Whisper Woods, Whisper Woods, and then kill Crush. So yeah, unless Crush gets another fantastic top deck here, it's looking difficult. And I think Augur's choice to get a forest there, Augur factually has more swamps, and I think when you have the Villainy, you want to be able to play more black spells, so why are you, not getting more black sources? I guess the thought is for, Whisper Woods looping, but already has, 3 green sources, 2 of which are black, of course, but I think that, if you're worried about running out of green sources, I would worry more about black sources for the stuff that you're potentially going to regrow. Especially, when Memento Mori is a high priority target, Xanagan is a high priority target. I think getting a forest instead of a swamp there, unless I'm doing some math wrong, feels like another small mistake. Oh, and still has enough mana for a no rest, so pokes Crush in the face for 2, rebuys a swamp. I guess unfortunately doesn't have anything better to rebuy. Augur's mills have been singularly unlucky this entire set. Yeah, just straight up no non-land permanents in either player's grave. Yup, and here comes the Shatter Mortal Conveyances. But yeah, now Augur just plays Villainy, gets a no-rest trigger, that's 2 to face, then can loop Whisper Woods, let's see, so it's 3 to replay Villainy, then can loop Whisper Woods 3 times, which is exactly how much Augur needs to kill. So yeah, so Crush is just dead here. So good games to both players. Unfortunately, there were, I think, lots of little misplays throughout, but it was still a grueling and I think skill testing set. I think Crush's deck, despite I think it's relatively fragile and it's playing against a very interactive deck, it still showed that if you let it live for too long, it can kind of just pull out crazy top decks. It can pull out some of its bombs. It just has, if you let it have the mana, it can do some incredible things. And I think it performed exceeding expectations, for me at least, in this set. But yeah, I'm probably just going to wait to see if it plays out, just in case Augur makes another punt somehow and doesn't kill Crush. But let's see. Well, you know what? Actually, I spoke too soon. Augur is going to kill the Shatter Mortal Conveyances instead of just going for Crush's face. It also has hexproof, so that just doesn't work. I think what happened is Augur forgot that she got a trigger from No Rest. So actually Crush should be dead. Augur just messed up by missing the no rest trigger. Conjure realities. What can Crush conjure realities for that could potentially save him? I'm not sure. If Crush sided in Villainy removal, could conjure for Villainy removal, and then Augur could Whisper Woods the Villainy back, but then would be out of cards in hand completely. So wouldn't be able to get the last Villainy trigger to kill Crush. Can't even cast Descend because Descend doesn't have any valid targets. But yeah, it all hinges on whether or not Crush brought in that sideboard hate for the Villainy. No, Xenoflora Expert. Oh, that's, yeah. Okay, draws 2. Draws 1 first off the forest. Can play the Sea of Skies Beyond, but then that would destroy the first Sea of Skies Beyond, but I don't think Crush has another choice. And yeah, that's game over. It swings in with the Shatter, but ironically that just brings Augur back to our starting life total. And yeah, now Augur just untaps and Whisperwood's Exploration seals the deal. So yeah, back to what I was saying before, I really think that this was a match that was very skill testing, but I think it was also defined by misplays across the board. I do think though that in a similar vein, capitalizing on misplays is definitely a valid thing in Magic, because if we were all perfect, then there would be no point to even playing this game. We would just have machines play it. And as we saw, game 1, Crush capitalizing off Augur not killing Mabel. Then game 2, there were probably some others I forgot. And then game 3, it was the truth unveiled, shuffling in the revelations that really, I think, sunk Crush here, despite the top deck Shatter. But yeah, I think both of these decks seem super sweet, and I'm excited to see how they do further on in the GP. But until next time, this is Caillou signing off.